All right, I got another video. Now, this is a video that a lot of people know this, but a lot of people don't. And this video is for those people that don't know about this technique that you can actually do. This is actually something to help you memorize your fretboard notes very quickly. It's just a really simple idea. Whether you have 6, 7, and 8 string guitar, whether you play bass, it still applies to this and stuff like that. But bass players that only have 4 strings, they just won't use the B string in this. But it works out really well, and you'd be surprised how quickly you can memorize your fretboard this way. Now what we'll do is the first things first, if you don't know the names of your strings, starting from your high E, it's E, B, G, D, A, and E. In the 80s, when I was learning to play guitar, my guitar teacher says the easy way to memorize the name of your strings is Easter bunnies get drunk at Easter. That's just what he told me, and it worked. And I memorized it that way. Easter bunnies get drunk at Easter. It works. Now, knowing the names of your strings, you can then use the alphabet at that point. For example, E. Well, after E in the alphabet's F. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And so on. And you would do that like A. You do A, B, C all the way down. So knowing that, so we have E, and then we have what? On the first fret of the low E, we have F. And let's find other notes. Now these aren't all the notes of F, these are just some of the notes from F. So you have F on the low E, first fret. Now if you go down to the D string, and you go to the 3rd fret, you have an F again. So F, F, F. Okay, then if you scoot down to the B string, and you go down to the 6th fret, you find another D, another F. So you have again on the low E, 1st fret, F, and then on your D string, the 3rd fret, F, and on the 6th fret on the B string, F. So you have. Now let's do the same idea here. We'll scoot down to G. G is on the low E, on the 3rd fret. There's G. And if you scoot down to D again on the 5th fret, you have another G. Now, if you scoot down to the 8th fret on the B string, you have that G again. So you have G. Now, what's after G and F? But no, we have 7 natural notes in music. There's no such thing as a Z chord or a Q scale. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. After G, what happens? You start all over again. After the G, you go back to A. So on your 5th fret in the low E, it's A. Now if you scoot down to your D again, on your 7th fret, you have another A. Now if you go to your 10th fret on your B string, you have your A. So you have and all the way down. How that technique works. If you get the chance, watch this video over and over till you memorize it. Now, another thing you want to learn is a lot of people don't know why on the 12th fret there's always 2 dot markers, there's always 2 fret markers, or like a different companies will have like a different symbol than others and things, because the 12th fret is so important. Now, we talked earlier about how you know the names of your strings. Easter bunnies get drunk at Easter, right? E, B, G, D, A, and E. Now, if you bar every one of these notes on the 12th fret, you again have E, B, G, D, A, and E. Easter bunnies get drunk at Easter. Because after you use 12 notes, it starts all over again. So you would have E, B, G, D, A, and E. Now this is all on the 12th fret, because I just went up the 12th frets. Just telling you that. Knowing that, you automatically know your 12th fret, low E, is E, and then F, G, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Now, if I had 24 frets as a guitar, you would go back to E again. It's the same thing, like A, and then D, G, B, then going down to E. And if you have that, you can use it again, the same technique, because you're going to go E on your 12th fret, and then you go down to your D string on your 14th, and then it would be B on your 17th fret. So you have these are all E's, and just the same idea all the way down. Because when you're doing this, Like for example, on an F, you're hitting the low E, you're skipping A altogether. You're not using A. You're going right to the D string and on your 3rd fret. And you're skipping your G string and going right to your B string to your 6th fret to make the F. F, F, G, A, B, and all the way down. You know, it just works because when you're doing, when you're finding these, now if you go down to like an E, now this E here is an E power chord. It starts on your A string. It doesn't use your your low E. But a lot of the metal guys, they'll use for example, they'll use an E power chord, but then they'll use their open low E. You know what I mean? But you have the E. You have a little bit different. I don't want to get into that today because you got your sharps and flats and everything changes a little bit. It's interesting because the fact you have your F, and you, like for example, you have your low E, F, and then G and A. Now you have your sharps and flats in between. I'm not going to get into that today and things like that, but then you can start figuring out your sharps and flats a lot easier. So it's easy when you get going down your fretboard. If you do your skipping, use the same pattern all the way down, and you can find your notes. And it's great because if you're using those notes, you can rip into anything, you know, like an A. That was an A as well. You started an A. Here's an A. You know, when you find your notes and you know where your notes are, it's so much easier to write solos than to write songs, put your leads in there. And you know when you're not playing it right, you know, because when you play and your note's wrong, it doesn't sound right. But if you do it right, it sounds good. But remember, F, F. You want to skip your F and skip your A and skip down your G. Skip down your D. And skip your G and go down to your B. So you're just missing. You're skipping one. If you forget the technique, you easily feel it. You know where they are. But knowing where the notes on your fretboard is essential to know guitar because it will change the game. With power chords, you know your F note, well, there's your F power chord, and you know where your root is, you know, like your A, here's your A power chord. And your G, you know? So it's really nothing to it. I hope this video helps you. And get practicing.